What's going on, you guys? In this video, I'm going to talk about my favorite combinations or sequences of exercises that I like to personally pick, but also just some general ideas you guys can use as well whenever you're approaching a sliding bench trainer or total gym. And these are things, oftentimes you've seen things like this on my various workout videos or even my program design videos. And someone left a comment recently just reminding me to do this because I'm meaning to do this for a long time, because I've alluded to this and I think I've said this many times. That I personally try to select exercises that really just kind of flow nicely to each other. And what I mean by that is you can maybe working about like your back in one exercise, flow right to maybe like a chest exercise with really kind of minimal setup between each other. And certainly there's some pros and cons to doing it this way, but in my opinion, this is where a total gym or sliding bench trainer really shines. It just makes your workouts a little bit faster paced, a little more efficient, a little more kind of a little more involved in the sense that like you just jump on it and kind of like get really into the machine. You can listen to something, kind of zone out, and not worry too much of like these standard like resistance training rules of like, well, I have to rest X amount of time between sets. I have to do my multi-joint stuff first and save my single joint stuff towards the end or whatever. Where definitely you can break some rules like traditional like exercise or program design rules. But again, in my opinion, it just makes the workout all the more fun. And if it's more fun, in my opinion, at least for me personally, I adhere to using the machine more. And again, it takes more of the guesswork and mindless, kind of more thought process out of like designing your workouts, so that even when I kind of go over these positions today, you literally could just jump into this and kind of just tackle some exercises flowing from each of these positions and really get a solid workout each time. So hopefully you guys like this video, like this content. If you guys do, please like and or subscribe. I will put some timestamps down below and links in the description box as well if you guys do want to support the channel. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Let's jump right into the video on these positions. All right, so before I get into the first sequence of exercises you guys can flow together or combinations, I just want to get this out there so this video doesn't go on like 60 minutes. There's a lot of little nuance and I'm sure a lot of questions people might have when they're seeing me do these things. What you're going to see in a second in a lot of these different sequences of exercises or positions is you'll see me, like I addressed a little bit in the beginning, I'll be breaking some traditional rules in that I'll be going into chest presses, right into arms, biceps, shoulders here in a second, lats. And people might be thinking, well, like, isn't your arms going to get tired? Aren't you going to exhaust like your biceps before you go into like some back stuff? Or aren't you going to exhaust your triceps going into chest stuff? Because traditionally people think of like, do your more multi-joint chest back stuff first and then save your arms or single joint stuff like arms or isolated shoulder stuff towards the end. Yes, you could do that, and it depends on your level of where you're at. A beginner, yeah, maybe you could, some of these muscle groups might kind of peter out for others. For the most part though, I wouldn't really have you worry about that too much. That might be a kind of a hot take position. I don't want to get bogged down in the weeds. The point is I want to say is that yes, there's a lot of nuance. Yes, there's a lot of specifics. Even for instance, if you want to work a particular body part that's like a focus or something really specific, then yeah, you should probably make that a focus in a specific point. If I want to build my arms, build my chest for that day, or do a particular chest workout, obviously do more chest stuff. But for all these things I'm saying here right now, pretty much 9 times out of 10, this is what I'm doing when I'm personally using the machine. Not saying it's the right thing. I think it is one of the most fun ways to use the machine, most efficient ways to use the machine, but I just want to get that out there before I get going, because I know a lot of people might have questions or might be kind of yelling at the screen as they're watching me kind of recommend these things. But first position that I like to do is a seated on the machine with the cable attached. I'll be kind of seated and I'll do some laying down exercises. 9 times out of 10, what I like to do whenever I'm getting into any total gym or sliding bench trainer workout, I'm generally going right to a chest press. I don't know why, just because I always do this. Even if it's a shoulder workout too, I'll just go right into this too. Could even count this as a warm up. Do some sets here that feel adequate for you. From here, I'll have to either go right into a bicep curl. Now again, I can go with my kind of seat with my butt on here. I like to immediately just go kneeling. I know not everybody can kind of do this, but I'll just get some reps here as soon as I'm done here. You can chain into a pullover. Okay, pullover is working like the sides of your back or your back muscles, a little bit of your triceps if you're not bending your elbows too much. But I certainly could do a pullover into a tricep extension, or you could flow right into some tricep extensions as well. Then I can go right into like some T or Y pull downs. Again, kind of working the sides of my back. Let's say you kind of worked your arms, just did that whole sequence right there. You want a little break, something else you could do. You could actually make it work if you have pull-up bars here, and some models can do that, but otherwise I could even hold here, reverse mountain climbers. Okay, I could do like reverse sit-ups. Another great exercise when you're in this position is just a simple frontal raise while you're seated. I could have incorporated in the beginning. All these, you don't have to follow this order for anything I'm saying, but that would be some of the best exercises, in my opinion. Great exercises to kind of chain together between movements, between exercises. You'll see some things in a second, like I could go right down in here and start doing some exercises using this bottom stand here, like some press or even some leg stuff. Minor stuff. Obviously, you could just take this little thing, the middle cable attachment out if you wanted to. But even for the most part, I would just kind of leave it in and just go right into something else. All right, next position, we're just going to be lying on the machine, cable still attached. Here from this position, I might do, again, it's still kind of like a pullover, but it's still like kind of working your back. Still like that Y, or I call it like a T pull down, working the sides of my back. Doing this for a few reps or whatever. Then I could chain right into some tricep extensions. That grip, I could even go right into a neutral grip here. I could go right down into straight pullovers, pull downs this way, again, working my back. I like to do this a lot, where you, instead of putting the pull-up bar attachment here, I would start now transitioning into the next string of exercises. You could start going to pulley detached. Just detach this off, jump up here, and do some, just some pull-ups. Depending on the model you got, you could do some grips there. I haven't done it recently in other videos, but sometimes I used to have an extra set of handles, and I would attach another set of carabiner clips here. This way I could just do some closed chain pull-ups here, which also is a benefit because it's generally higher position than having it attached down there. And let's say you finish that up. Like again, depending on what model you got, attach the cable, the pulley again, jump right back into everything we did prior, or what we just did, either seated or kneeling, facing away. I can scoot down a little bit, do some bicep curls, these preacher ones. I could say a lot about this. Sometimes you got to find like a sweet spot, and I think this one works best when you're kind of already got like an initial, for lack of a better word, like pump in your muscles. This one feels a little better. As I just did that, all right, you could go into some push-ups here. All right, I can go into planks, lay back down, start that whole sequence again. Certainly when you're seated with cable attached, simply this is a good opportunity to go into rows, rear flies. Probably have to drop the tower height on those rear flies, though that gets pretty tough. Or if you got that extra carabiner clip, going into single arm rows as well. Okay, so pulley's still attached. We just did that last sequence, laying down, face down. Now we're gonna go supine or face up. I could do lateral raises here. Notice I haven't even touched the tower height at all. I left it exactly where it was. It might be different for you guys, but to me, this tension is still perfect for everything else. And again, 9 times out of 10 for me, I'm kind of minimally touching that thing. So again, I'm just doing lateral raises here. I could do straight curls this way. I could do frontal raises again. What I forgot to show earlier from face down, I forgot you could just do tricep extensions there, pull downs here. But honestly, that whole sequence, all this stuff you saw thus far, all these things would work perfect, from just jumping back and forth to all these things. And 9 times out of 10, that's what I'm doing. When do you know when to switch exercises or switch body parts? To me, just listen to your body. Whenever you can't do any more in a particular body part, just switch exercises to a body part that feels like it's well rested. Do that, then go right back to what you're doing. So don't worry about like this set number of like sets and reps in your head. Just listen to your body and just kind of just flow stuff together. All right, now we're just gonna transition to some like cable detach method stuff. One little quick thing here, don't pull on this. I'm starting to rip my fabric. Don't do what I'm doing and rip it here. So I keep telling people that, just go up here now because don't make the mistakes I'm doing. That video is coming soon though. Some video of me doing all the stuff I would not do. So right here, when the cable is detached, 9 times out of 10, whenever it's me, whenever I detach the cable, it's a good time for me to throw in some pull-ups. So again, just hitting the pull-ups. You can do these, chain these together here. I think it's a really good idea. I'm not gonna do it for this video. If you got an extra pair like I do, a lot of times I will chain, which is a great, to me, one of the best combinations together is pull-ups into inverted presses. If I don't, let's say you don't even want to attach this, I could do inverted presses here. Otherwise, I'd attach an extra set of handles there. If you don't have an extra set of handles, you can just press down here. A lot of times I'll just do this. So I'll just go right into that kind of press. So yes, it's a little bit different, but if you got 2 sets of handles, that's really cool. To me, that's a nice little flow of exercises. I know in the back of your head, there's some people saying, is it really that big a deal to just detach that and put it there? No, it's not. But to me, I still like just the speed of everything's kind of going. I like kind of moving it a little more of a faster click. So not a big deal. It probably takes you all of about 20 seconds to really do that. But again, once this is there, once this is set up there, the natural progression you could do is you could start going into some legs. You can't do hard leg squats because you likely kind of hit that, but just getting low, doing single leg stuff. You could do some little pop-ups here, but the point is anytime the cable is detached, you usually can get by still doing some stuff with your pull-ups as long as you still go too crazy. But one of my ultimate favorite ones that I love to do after I do pull-ups is pull-ups then into this kind of, basically this bottom sled press. A lot of times in the channel, you'll see me a lot of times using the Pilates bar attachment, but if you just got this, like I said, a lot, you can get by a lot with just having this attachment, not even having that one. But using the weight bar attachment, I like this a lot too, pressing through this way. One negative part is that this is a little bit less unstable because it kind of doesn't have that grip. But since I do have this, I generally do opt for this than that. So, but with this, it's not, this rubber helps it kind of stay on there. But this is one of my all-time favorites. All right, you guys see me do this a lot. I've talked about this a lot. Really like this exercise. Certainly, if you don't even want to do that, you could just do these as well. Inverted presses with my hands through there, and a close grip would be something else you could do as well. And anytime you got this in there, I mean, whenever the pulley's off, you know, even something just slipping on something like this. It's not meant for leg pressing, but for the sake of time, I'm just showing you that. Generally, too, if the pulley is detached, I'll just kind of do legs, chaining with the pull-ups as well. And then some other great staples too. If I got the pull-up bar attached, I generally drop the cable. I'll drop the tower down, pop this out, doing push-ups on the ground, whether you're at a foot at an incline, or even if that's too tough, you could simply put your knees, just resting your knees like that, and doing push-ups here. So those are other kind of solid ones as well. I've been watching the channel recently over the last, few months. This is something, or a couple months or month, I don't know. This is something I started doing a lot of. You guys see a lot of the videos. Just doing the single cable kind of detached method to do some rows. Primarily rows, but you can do a lot of things with this. This would be a good opportunity too. Whenever I got the cable detached, I'll chain together pull-ups, or you can opt to taking these off and chain the pull-ups with like legs. My point is, once you got the cable detached and you already got the pull-up bar set in and you're doing legs and that whole sequence I just showed you, you could do some double rows, you could do single rows. It's actually pretty tough. You could do single rows, double-handed rows if you guys wanted to. That altogether, I do that a lot. I'll do a lot of double rows here, right into presses, back and forth. So there is a lot of kind of pretty much following the same kind of standard push-pull type of sequence. It is kind of, you won't be able to get too many pushing, or I should just say pushing and let's say shoulder-related exercises back to back. That can be kind of tough. All right, I almost forgot this little sequence here. I honestly haven't done this in a while, but if I'm going to put on these ankle straps, which again, I'll link these down below. I think these are the best. If you're gonna get ankle straps, you wanna make sure they're strong, they don't fly off, because I had a pair of cheaper ones that did it all the time. I always kind of nervous. These D-Moose ones are pretty affordable and they're really good. What I do, if I'm gonna put these things on and then take the time to put these on, which again, doesn't take that long in the grand scheme of things, but if I'm gonna attach these things and then get myself set up on here, which I'll talk about in a second, generally I always am gonna do these two exercises back to back. And I just walk myself back up a little bit, making sure that cable did fall off. Being careful that cable doesn't fall off. Go ahead, detach the other one. Okay, we're on there. Just gonna go slowly, kind of fall down. Take that thing off. And I like to kind of sit myself where my knees are beyond the pad. Just straight hamstring curls. Again, great exercise on a total gym that I would say is definitely comparable to a leg curl at the gym. Push yourself up, sit back up. This won't feel as good as the other one and definitely is gonna feel easier. But the point is, if I already got these things hooked up, I usually just go right into leg curl, leg extension. You could stand up. Actually, it doesn't take that long, and actually just raise the tower height this way too. So you can see it's nothing really too crazy. I didn't show you really any fancy exercises, and I've said this many, many times. You don't need a lot of fancy exercises, even though I like to show some on this channel. You certainly can do that. Certainly I do that from time to time. I might actually kind of do kind of a flowy workout like you guys just saw, taking all this stuff, blending it together. And then maybe sporadically if I want more of a break or I want to increase a little more higher intensity, a little bit harder, I might jack the machine up, try some more nuanced stuff like attaching the bands. And there's even certainly workouts where I just pick like 1 to 2, maybe 3 exercises and just kind of go to town on that. Like you guys have seen whenever I have the bands attached. That's a little more cumbersome to set up. Again, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that long to set up the bands for like leg resistance stuff. But for me, I usually just stick to like, if I'm gonna put bands on the machine for like legs, that's like the predominance of the workout will be like maybe just 2 to 3 leg exercises for a given amount of time. And I honestly haven't done that in a while. So really basic, really straightforward stuff here I wanted to showcase to you guys. And again, hopefully this is just one of those videos that you guys makes using the machine just a lot easier. What you could do to put this together. Again, there's a plethora of stuff in this channel and other places as well that show you guys how to use the machine. But even this one, I mean, I know I probably say this a lot, it probably sounds like a broken record, but definitely if I'm not recording a video or a workout for you guys and I'm on the machine doing like an upper body day specifically, definitely, because we saw some total body stuff with like pushing and pulling and then doing some legs. It's usually what you guys just saw. I'm not thinking about too much and I'm doing the exact same flow type of exercise you guys saw here, really nothing crazy. This is 95% of my workout, 90+% for sure, what you guys saw here. So you guys can take the same approach. Just kind of look at some exercises that flow together, that kind of go nicely, that fit you, that you like, and just kind of flow them together. And don't worry too much about some exact set and rep number. Unless you guys want to keep track of that, that's definitely good. Biggest thing as always is be consistent, use the machine, try to avoid any kind of pain. Nothing should be feeling you're painful or discomfort. Discomfort in the sense of like muscular, like aches for like things are like hurting when you're doing it. Avoid those types of exercises and just find what works for you. So hopefully this is beneficial. Let me know whatever kind of content you guys want to see in the future. I'll definitely will do that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.